Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Perception. Our guest today is the Honourable Member of Parliament for Shah Alam, Yang Berhormat Saudara Khalid Samad. YB, the public is fully aware that the police force is duty-bound to be neutral, independent and professional. Yet in a good number of instances, their actions have proved otherwise. Very especially in the screening of the sex video alleging that it is Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim. The irony of it all is that the public is not convinced and the rakyat flocks by the thousands to hear Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim for his Meet the People gatherings. What is your understanding of this public phenomenon?
Yeah, I think this is the dilemma which UMNO Barisan Nasional is faced with, right? They are working very hard to try to convince the general public that Anwar is guilty of various crimes and is an immoral person, right? To the extent that they are willing to use the police as part of their campaign machinery, yeah? But at the same time, they are also witnessing that the more they try to convince the people that Anwar is bad, the more the people are eager to hear the other side of the story, and in particular from Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim himself. Yeah? So this is a problem which I think if they are unable to understand and unable to handle effectively, will lead to a complete how do you say, mistrust by the public towards the institutions of police, of the courts, and so on and so forth, and then you get a situation where the system as a whole will fail. Yeah? And if UMNO Barisan Nasional has any love for the nation and for the Malaysian public and for the Malaysian people, they should desist. They should understand the situation and they should stop. Yeah? And they should try to allow the police to work independently, be a neutral institution, so that it can regain the confidence of the public, and as well as the courts, yeah, to do the same. Yeah? Because if they don't allow that, then the whole system will collapse. And this obviously will be a very serious situation. If people no longer believe in the police, no longer believe in the courts, then it becomes a situation of complete desperation. Yeah? So this is something which they should avoid if they have any love for the country and for the people.
YB, do you see that happening? Recently it was revealed that PDRM is actively involved in smearing the name of Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim in the guise of its seminar isu-isu keselamatan negara masa kini at Sekolah Menengah Beris Panco in Kelantan. Where is this all going to take or lead multicultural Malaysia to?
Yes, well, this is the unfortunate situation. Yeah, so it would seem not unlike Muammar Gaddafi, the current UMNO leadership is willing to burn its bridges and willing to burn the country as a whole in order to remain in power. Yeah? And the blatant act of using the PDRM as one of its information or propaganda machinery is completely irresponsible. Yeah? And I think the general public is getting wise to the situation, and this is where, as I said earlier, is a dilemma for UMNO Barisan Nasional. They do not see a way out. If they do not go all out in trying to discredit Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, then they realize that their days are numbered. But at the same time, if they use all the government machinery in order to discredit Anwar Ibrahim, and the public becomes increasingly aware that they are misusing their position, then also their days are numbered. So I think this is partly the reason why currently we are hearing about the question of giving ICs, identification cards, to foreigners in order to come out and become a voter for Barisan Nasional. I mean, this is a situation which is at the most extreme form of desperation. And I think that the general public in Malaysia must realise that this is happening, and must also realise that irrespective of what Barisan Nasional is doing, they must stand up and vote for change so that we can put an end to this tragedy.
YB, recently it was also revealed in an open letter to the IGP by the former head of criminal investigations, Dato Muhammad Zain Ibrahim, that of the alleged misconduct of both the Attorney General, Dato Gani Patail, as well as the former IGP, Tan Sri Musa Hassan. These are very serious allegations. How do you view these disturbing revelations?
Well, first and foremost, I think it confirms the facts that we in Pakatan Rakyat are completely aware of from the very beginning, right? That the Attorney General in particular has acted as a very important member of the Barisan Nasional team, and in what has been described as a personal feud, between the Attorney General and a few top politicians within UMNO Barisan Nasional, including Tan Sri Rahim Tabicik. They have misused their position of power in order to ensure that Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim is completely maligned, completely smeared in terms of his credibility, in terms of his ethics and morality. And this is a situation that started in 1998, 1999, and has continued for the past 13 years. And it will carry on, and it will continue because for as long as these people are in power, they will have to make sure, or they will use their position to make sure that they will remain in power, right? And what has been written by Dato Muhammad Zain Ibrahim is an expose of incredible importance, because he, as a person who was directly involved, is fully aware of all the occurrences wherein Gani Patail and Musa Hassan has misused their position of power, and we find it not to say strange, but somewhat expected that it is, even with such an expose, nothing's being done, right? I mean, you've got the Attorney General who is holding a very central position in the system of ensuring justice, where the wheels of justice will only turn when he accepts that such and such has occurred and this person needs to be charged, right? And where he has a vested interest, or he has political allegiances which prevent him from undertaking his task as an independent entity which will act without fear or favour, I think any responsible government would replace him, or at the very least undertake an investigation into the allegations made by Dato Muhammad Zain. But as I've been saying all this while, UMNO and Barisan Nasional is not a responsible government. The whole tragedy occurred due to the rift between Anwar and Dr. Mahathir, and ever since then, the political culture of UMNO, with its corruption, and so on and so forth, just cannot accept that they have to be with the party who is on the right. Rather, they just want to be with the party who is in power. and with that, they will keep on lying and manipulating the facts until they are removed. So it's up to the Malaysian public now.
YB, how does all this impact Malaysia's image on the global stage?
Yeah, so this is also another factor that we must understand, that we are no longer living in the 60s. This is a globalized world, or where there is a borderless world, yeah? And everything that happens is being made known to the population, the whole population of the world. Everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows how the current Malaysian government is behaving in a manner which is completely contrary to democratic principles, right? And I believe that the image of Malaysia to the industrialized world is generally a very negative image, even though they are being very, how do you say, subtle about it. They still accept and receive all the official delegations from the country. They allow Najib to speak and all that, but people are not stupid, and they can compare what you're saying and what you're doing, right? So for example, Najib's speech in Oxford pertaining to moderation and rejecting extremism, which people are saying that, look, okay, this is what he's saying, but what's happening in Malaysia is completely different, where people like Ibrahim Ali and Perkasa are given a free hand to do as they like, and Utusan Malaysia is given a completely free hand to write what they like and to create an atmosphere of enmity and mistrust. So this is a globalized world. You can't carry on pretending to be what you're not and expect that people will believe you. So I think if you look at all the indexes pertaining to corruption, indexes pertaining to freedom of the press, pertaining to practice of democracy, and so on and so forth, I believe that we are very generally we are just slipping down the scale. And this is the problem, which I'm very sure the government is aware, but they are unable to do anything because they have a vested interest.
YB, the Prime Minister, Dato' Najib Razak, is on overdrive with his mantra of transformation. Why is he not concerned or indifferent in respect for the need of drastic transformation in PDRM?
Well, the mantra of transformation is something which, number one, acknowledges that the Malaysian public wants change, and they have therefore been forced to carry on with this mantra because this is what the Malaysian public wants to hear. But at the same time, to them, it's purely a mantra. It's something which they say, but they are completely unable and ill-equipped to undertake the transformation. And it's not just the PDRM. I mean, it includes the institutions of justice, such as the courts, the independence of the courts, which is clearly at risk when you see how the case of Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim pertaining to the Sodomy 2 charges were handled. And all the institutions which can actually bring about change and instill a more responsible and a more civilized behavior within the public institutions, all this talk of change are not being undertaken by the government. And it's nothing more than a mantra, recognizing that the Malaysian public wants the change, but what he is saying and what he's doing are two completely different things. I mean, as far as the media, for example, is concerned, when you want a democratic society, you need a free media. But if you are not able to allow for a free media for fear of being exposed, yeah, for what you really are, yeah, then you start clamping down, and this is what's currently happening. Yeah, even now we don't have TV, we don't have radio, we don't have anything. Even now the charamas are being restricted and disrupted by the police.
YB, it has been very enlightening talking to you. On behalf of TV Pass, I once again thank you for being present in this inaugural edition of Perception.
To say my thanks as well to the to TV Pass, and that I consider it a great honor to be invited as the first guest in the program. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the production crew of Perception, until we meet again next week, Hidup Rakyat, Hidup Pakatan Rakyat.